And welcome everyone to another match of Golden Hammer Gaming. Tonight we have Disbanded up against Yeet Elite. A very heavily requested match starting on Nepal today. I'm Bread along with Panini here. Thought you were gonna say something? Guess you're not.
Yes, hello.
The regular scuffed I see from the Golden Hammer Gaming that we always expect. Hello to everyone watching from home. Hope you're ready for some great Overwatch today. In about 5 seconds, we're going to start to see the compositions coming out on Nepal. Can't remember the name of the map.
Sanctum?
Thank you very much. So,
Ooh.
coming out from Disbanded on the left here, we've got the classic Rein Zarya Rush Brawl with the Mei Cree and the Lucio Moira. Pretty old comp, few months old now as far as meta is concerned. And then on the right, we have Yeet Elite running the... I was gonna say meta, and then I looked at the supports. We got the double shield, the Genji Ashe, but then the Lucio Ana.
It's a very interesting support picks there.
We got some nano blades, so I'm looking forward to it. And let's get started here. Both teams looking like they're taking the far side, not wanting to risk getting booped at all.
Disbanded takes the point first, but it also looks like Yeet Elite has a very strong position on this high ground in the corner. They've kind of forced Disbanded into the enclosed space, but Godtastic does find Big Sexy. Gekkening has a good off angle right now, but it looks like they actually take down the Rhine. It's a huge pick there. You are down the Ana if you're Yeet Elite, but it does look like that it's just going to get scrappy here. Disbanded looks like it's the first cap. Schmidt finds Godtastic, and Otaku finds JRG. Lofty's getting real low here. He has full charge. He does fall. It looks like Yeet Elite's going to hold on here. They have more 4 players on point. They do force Disbanded off the point, and it looks like they're going to find cleanups here.
Yeah, it looks like, as the fight is ending here, both teams having some really interesting objective control. Yeet Elite, they did have control over the point with their spam composition, even though they weren't on it. However, they did give up that first cap, so that is going to be 16% lost. You know, this composition, you really want to see the Brawl team end up on top of the double shield. That's the only time that they're going to get proper value and have a chance to win that fight. But not ever properly engaged, it just meant it was going to stall out. And the increased damage from Yeet Elite is just going to win every single time.
It looks like Disbanded is going to roll down underneath, meet them on point. Oh, pause.
So,
This is the fastest pause I've ever seen.
If that's the fastest pause you've ever seen, clearly you haven't seen any of my streams.
You did not see the game last night. It took a while for there to be a couple pauses.
Well, it is all good. We are going to see our first pause. Looks like
A Big Sexy's probably having trouble here.
So we're just gonna chill out here. Alright, the stream's behind. That makes more sense now. As to why I'm not seeing this all update. Yeah, so if we're taking a look at the composition, you generally consider Yeet Elites to beat out Disbanded when it comes to the neutral fight. You know, the double shield obviously very superior in their damage of their art. I'm just gonna wait for Disbanded to get ready as well before we head back in. Yeah,
they're ready.
Rotation. Okay, we're going back in.
It's gonna be a big brawl right here with a lot of ults, I'm expecting. If Flux comes out early. Flux catches 5. That's a huge Flux. Reinhardt is purple here. Gekkonen gets shattered, but he is gonna stay up. Beat comes out just to be safe, and it looks like Yeet Elite's gonna find the cleanups here.
This is not over quite yet with the Coalescence. That's the second Coalescence coming from Triton. Triton. I don't know what I was going to say yet. Here, and it looks like they are winning this fight. Yeet Elite not having committed to the point, almost fully captured, and it does go back into the wave Disbanded.
That fight went a little too long. I believe it was a 4v2 right there, and they just didn't find the kills.
It was a really nice flux from Schmidt. However, the Mei wall from Godtastic really well separated off Luna from the rest of her team. And obviously with the Lucio Ana composition, there's no real way you can bail out your Orisa, which is, you know, generally an issue considering how many Orisa nerfs you've had. We've got the Blizzard and the Grav, a really powerful combo against this team.
Blade countered by Beat immediately. Fire Strike into the Grav finds 2. They also Blizzard. That's a big investment right there from Disbanded, but it did win them the fight, so.
He definitely did win the fight. That's the big win condition here for Yeet Elite, that Nano Blade combo. They do obviously have the Supercharger, again, very powerful ultimate in the current meta. However, that was 3 large ultimates. A bit of communication errors there, I think, that we're seeing from Disbanded.
Yeah, I don't know if the Blizzard needed to come out.
And the Grav Beat at the same time was a little interesting to see, as they all apparently have no game audio.
Bomb to engage here from Yeet Elite. Pepega's gonna get a... Luna actually falls there. Pepega got real low, but it didn't matter. Schmidt finds 2 with the Flux. In this tiny room, it looks like the Brawl team's going to come out on top. Triton finds another Coalescence here, and it actually ends up being really impactful, that fight.
Yeah, it was a nice gravitic flux. However, he got frozen out of it by Godtastic halfway through. So
oh,
actually able to get the landing damage.
It was the initial damage that killed everyone, or that killed the 2 people. Lucio does find the touch here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Shatter comes out and finds 3. High Noon's coming out from high ground over here just to be safe. Looks like Yeet Elite's actually finding picks here, and they do. Blade. Lofty's going to get real low here. If they can find Lofty here, it might be winnable for Yeet Elite. It's just Pepega on point right now against Schmidt, pocketed by his Ana. Pepega does fall, so they actually turned a fight that I didn't think was winnable. They did swap onto a Brawl Calm, too.
No, it's very risky, obviously swapping to the Brawl, because it does have a bit of that increased movement, where it's obviously never going to get to point very quickly with those legs. And once it becomes essentially a neutral fight here, no Mei, and Creep versus Ashe is a bit different. But in that neutral fight, Yeet was looking to come out on top there.
Disbanded's rolling this mini room over here. Luna almost gets walled. Purple finds Triton in the back. Nano goes on to Luna here, just swinging on Ryan. Looks like Yeet Elite's going to come out on top here. Beat just to be safe. And all that's left is Otaku in the small room. That was an incredible game. Very back and forth, very fun to watch.
100 to 99. The big difference we're seeing from these teams is the style of composition that they're trying to run. Even once Yeet has switched to the Brawl, they were still opting to keep their Ana and their Ashe farther back. And of course this map, it's very favored to long-range damage because the point is so far away. You need to choose, do you want to contest the point, or do you want to contest the people that are raining damage on you? So if you aren't going to go contest that Ashe and the Ana, your team on point is going to get free healing and a ton of damage from that Ashe.
That's the perks of being a defensive team, or being the team that's defending, is you can just wait for the other team to play into your hands.
Yeah, really good control of the map there. We're going to see the Farmer Seat Brawl now coming out from Disbanded, while it looks like Yeet going to keep with the Brawl comp, possibly seeing how it went based on the last map. Going to want to keep it going.
I really like Pharah in general in these big open points here. You get a lot of spam damage in.
And we do have JR on the Ashe here. Generally pretty, competent at being able to take out a Pharah. However, there isn't really any direct support for him. So it's going to be mostly just on him.
Luna falls real low. Luna gets charged. That's probably going to be a good fight win for Disbanded. Kills are not coming in as fast as I expected. So if Disbanded finds a couple kills here, they could turn the fight. Sexy falls. That's not going to be good. Are still a lot of trades, but I think that Disbanded's going to come out on top here. Otaku gets rezzed. Yeah, it looks like Disbanded's going to clean up here. Luna might get staggered. I think Luna's going to get out here. No, the Fire Strike finds Luna there.
Definitely going to get staggered. Yeah, that was really nice. Obviously Disbanded falling a bit earlier in numbers. But with JR following on that Ashe, there was no one really to contest Godtastic on the Pharah, who already has his barrage.
I think he got like a 3k that fight.
Yeah, so I mean, an uncontested Pharah in the skies here, especially on this point, can be very hard for Yeet to ignore, eventually falling to that spam damage.
JR has swapped off Ashe on the McCree.
Yeah, possibly just feeling more comfortable on that McCree, obviously the increased fire rate. Gonna be coming out with both the Genji Blade and the Pharah Barrage, as well as all 4 support ults.
Beat comes out a little bit late, but they still do commit the Nano Blade. Valk comes out for Disbanded. I'm curious if any other ults are going to be invested, or if they're just going to clean up these fights. Or these players with no ults. Well, Schmidt was just standing inside their team, and he grabs... This might actually still be winnable for Yeet. No.
Disbanded is going to come out on top.
Otaku and Godtastic do clean up there. Godtastic still hasn't used his barrage yet.
That was a nice Valkyrie from Gypsy there. Being able to sustain the team, even when Triton was pushed slightly out of position. And especially, Mercy Res very powerful, making those, 4v3s now back to 4v4s. And with that damage, Godtastic still not having used the barrage, and Gekkening now onto the Echo.
Oh, they're probably going to combo with the Grav here. A good Grav barrage could just clean this fight up.
10% left for Disbanded before they finish the map off by themselves.
Only find Luna with the Grav. They still haven't committed the barrage. They do find Gekkening. Lofty finds Gekkening there. Shatter coming out from Luna finds Lofty. Picks aren't going to come after that. Barrage used, but Godtastic does fall. Rez does come off, though. Schmidt's the only one alive on the point right now. Oh, he does fall. That looks like it's going to be that.
It was actually a nice grab from Lofty there. It looks like it didn't actually get many kills, but it forced Luna off the point, which forced Gekkening to go onto point, and he ended up dying for it since he had to use his mobility to enter. So, obviously it didn't look like it did much to Luna, but forced Gekkening to die, and that's a lot of their damage. So it was difficult for them to recover from the fight, not only in a 5v6, also missing their primary source of damage.
It looks like Yeet Elite's going to swap to double shield. I personally think the best comp for this is a Reiner Rissa Mei sim comp. Get to the point really fast, set up a kill box on the point, and then just don't let anyone enter.
Looks like both teams going to be opting for the sim, possibly going to point. with the double shield coming from Elite, although on choice with the supports, the Lucio Ana generally isn't something you would see run here.
Yeah, Ana's really hard to get some sight lines on this point, especially because the point's enclosed, so once you push on, your Ana has to be out of position to heal. It does look like Yeet Elite's going to make it to point first, and they do have a Mei, so that's going to be very tough to enter.
Nice slip onto Lofty there.
Pepega comes in, but takes it. Pepega just took a ton of damage there, but I think he got healed up completely. Coalescence is going to be real fast with this damage they're putting out. Luna falls very low. Luna does end up falling. They just push their way on a point. Very clean there from Disbanded.
And nice job from Disbanded. They did have to give a first cap, but that's only 10% they needed to surrender. And, you know, objective control on this map, really important, especially incredible stagger onto one guy there. It was a good plan from Yeet Elite there, although the tank composition that they were running wasn't really meant to ever stay on point. Once they ran out of shields, it was too easy for the rest of Disbanded to just rain damage upon, and the supporting composition they were running wasn't able to sustain.
Yeah, I was looking for some bigger Mei walls from JR. Ryan was pushing out and on a point there a couple times, but they never walled him off. Otaku finds 2 with the pulse bomb. Both the supports are down.
Otaku pushing a little too far and getting it punished by Gekkening. However, it won't be enough, as obviously a Tracer is going to return very quickly, and he's still waiting for their spawns.
This
You
is
have the wall coming, which is going to help in that shield war. Hopefully, if they look to take a fight on point, however, as they're going top right, it doesn't look like they will. And of course, they do have the beat for the blade. No nano, of course, instead of Disbanded. So beat, very good counter for that.
I'm very curious why they're still in the sim. Sim's really good at getting the point early, but once you lose point, it's kind of hard to take it back with the sim.
Still having the ultimate is a big deal here, and I expect to see it pretty early. Yeah, there we are. Splits point perfectly in half.
Blade comes out from Godtastic, does end up finding JR. Pepega just charges in. And it looks like just in the brawl, the Disbanded's going to clean up.
Yeah, one guy, nice try with the beat there, but it was a bit too late, so he wasn't able to actually save his both Ana and JR in time, and swapping off the Lucian out to the Baptiste, but with only 85%, they're just barely going to be able to touch the point now without the speed.
Also, the ults are coming up bigger for the Disbanded. With this Grav and the Shatter coming up, I think that might be too much for Yeet Elite. Massive Shatter from Disbanded, and they're unable to touch.
The Grav really nice, stopping from ever being able to press point. Panini, you do want to check your game audio, because apparently that's not coming up on stream anymore. Get the play of the game from Luna here. We'll watch it out, why not? So yeah, that was a nice work from both teams. Obviously, Yeet Elite coming out in that first map. I think we can continue to see them excel in these really open maps, where they're able to take longer angles. Oh, back to lobby. I know what I'm doing. I am a professional. Yeah, so Yeet Elite obviously coming out on top. These spam compositions, but when it came to Brawl, Disbanded definitely looking like the better team to be able to coordinate and engage. And I think we're going to see that continue for the rest of the series here.
Yeah, I felt like what really helped out Yeet Elite on that first point is how long they ran their Arista Sigma for, and they really didn't run it for the rest of the map. I feel like, especially now with the meta, where Arista Sigma is like so strong, I think that you might have to default onto that more. Because in the Brawl v Brawl, I think Disbanded's actually coming out on top. It's just that the few times that they've ran Arista Sig, it's looked really strong.
Yeah, their Arista Sig definitely looking a bit stronger than their Rhine Zarya, at least in the mirror composition here that we're seeing from Disbanded. That was really nice play from Disbanded, especially by Otaku on the Tracer. Often getting multiple kills with his pulse bomb. Consistently finding ways to harass the backline of Yeet Elite, which made it harder to support their tanks.
Yeah, the DPS are coming up really big for Disbanded. They're taking so much damage coming into the fight. When they actually arrive at point, they're down so much damage, down so much health, I should say.
Yeah, an interesting thing from Yeet is we're seeing the Ana Lucio in these double shield compositions. Very awkward support lineup, I want to say. Very little synergy with the tanks, since the Lucio speed boost does very little for the Orisa Sigma. And with all of the multi-target damage, let's say, from the current meta, it's difficult for an Ana to heal through all of that.
I also think that because of the flankers coming out, the Genji and the Tracer coming out from Disbanded, I think Yeet Elite would really benefit from running a Bat Brig. So basically,
yeah,
I just wanted to play meta, like just default to meta.
Fantastic. That's what you all came for today, folks. Some meta where some people place some shields,
I think it
do
would
some damage, and eventually a Baptiste dies.
I think it would do very well for them. Meta, I think, is very good, especially against brawl comps. When you run Ashe, the dynamites are really easy to hit. The Genji gets countered by the Brig. Immortality Field is really good against a lot of those win condition ults like Grab and Blade. I think
they were looking very strong when they were running that double shield. Their understanding of the space they wanted to take over that brawl comp was very good. So I hope to see more of that from them. I definitely think that their lineup here can hold it. It'll just depend on what Disbanded decides to run as well.
Yes.
Yes, what?
I agree.
Oh, okay. That was
So-
just very delayed.
I was just very quiet, so I wanted to break the silence.
All good.
Ready
Looks like
from
our
both teams.
Are ready to go. Gonna be heading into Blizzard World now. You can definitely run some brawl here. However, often feeling quite awkward because of how open every single point is here. Less so third, but you know, still Robo Mike. Hopefully that's just a ping thing and it gets fixed very quickly. But if it doesn't, let us know. You see that very open space on Blizzard World here. I expect to see that double shield coming out, at least from Yeet Elite. Going to be really powerful on this map here. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Hate that I just sang. It's fine. It wasn't even singing. It was just slightly melodic talking. I mean, let's see the comps that were coming here. It is going to be, in fact, the double shield from both teams, actually. Again, both opting to run an Ana. Quite interesting.
Why is the Mercy here?
I want to say that Gekkening on the attack here is going to be going over to the Pharah and just hasn't selected yet. Panini, fix your mic.
Oh, I'm told it's my mic.
Commentator audio fine here. Well, then the rest of you just fix your speakers. I'm getting... Tell Panini to fix his mic. Grace wants you to fix your mic.
Okay, I don't know if that's better or not, but I attempted something.
Sounds good. So yeah, we've got the Junkrat Tracer back Ana here on the defense. Gonna be looking for those really aggressive anti-nades, since healing won't be an issue for Gypsy here. And then Godtastic, of course, doing an incredible amount of shield break. Gekkening we're gonna see on the Tracer, not a Pharah. So questioning the Mercy from...
Might be to damage boost the Ashe.
Yeah, definitely could be. The giant crosshair on Spectator was distracting. You have a weird crosshair.
It's not visible anymore. Luna just gets burned down. With all this spam coming in, you need to make your rotations a lot tighter than they made it there. Otaku does find that one guy. Gekkening is trying to put pressure on the point. He does force Baptiste or Junkrat and Sigma to drop down. Pull coming in on Schmidt. He might fall here. They do put pressure on him, but the Ana's going to keep him up here.
Yeah, we're seeing some nice anti-nades from Triton here. First able to get it onto Luna, and of course without that Baptiste, it's everyone, the whole desk is fixed interwebs. We will check it out in a second. But yeah, landing those anti-nades to be able to follow the kills with the absence of a Baptiste. Now swapping over to the McCree instead of the Ashe. Gekkening gonna be falling again, losing that Tracer 1v1 to Otaku, and with that the rest of the front line is gonna collapse as well. One guy falling again to Godtastic, and Lunimi dying on the front line as well. Trying to commit without the support of the rest of their team here. Which not necessarily Luna's fault, it looks like they're trying to make the aggressive push. But with the amount of damage Otaku is able to get for essentially free here, not able to stop any of that.
I really want to see them rotate to their right side on the high ground. Try to pressure off Disbanded, because they're just so bunkered up right now. They're just doing so much damage. Big pull into a pulse bomb, finds 3. Yeet just needs to fall really quickly now.
No sleeping on the ground. This is gonna be unfortunate.
This fight's over before it started.
Otaku is taken out by Gekkening here. That is, I'm gonna say a pick, but it's not a huge deal as the Tracers are going to respawn very quickly, and Luna just coming back from respawn will be slower than Otaku is to come back to the point. You can see with the blinks already back now. About to be in position to take out some more supports.
A lot of ults are coming out here from, or coming up here for Disbanded.
Gekkening with his own pulse bomb now, however, Otaku already 50% of his way for the next one. The tire from Godtastic gonna come out
Tire
really
coming
early.
out. Tire finds 3. I believe he was assisted by a pull there. But it looks like they are gonna clean up here. Yeah.
It's the window to be able to weaken everyone as they were coming in, and then the tire to get the 3 to finish them off. Big 60 now swapping over to the Moira. A bit more consistent heals in these group scenarios as they're taking so much damage from the Junkrat here. Godtastic doing a really nice job. He built that tire super quickly, and he was able to see the opportunity where in the absence of an immortality field, the 3 were grouped up, and that killed their push right there. Only 50 seconds left now for Yeet to try and make an opening.
Bongo comes out early. They're just going to take so much damage here. You just need to stay out of LOS. They followed up with the Flux, which does find Schmidt. Schmidt used his Flux too, but he ended up dying before the animation completed. Luna finds Otaku, but I don't think that's going to be enough to win here. Yeah. A pull into a anti-nade.
Nice bio-nades again from Triton. Being able to, especially with this Otaku and the Chaser, being able to follow those up. Using the halts effectively from Pepega. To be able to set up these combos has been winning them all of these fights. We're going to see Yeet swapping over to the dive tanks now. I want to say just to get back onto the point very quickly.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to try to fight it out on point here. Luna ends up finding Lofty here. Might be the opening they need, but
Lampard
huge picks.
ARG with the 2 of the Deadeye and the skill orb from Big Sexy taking out Godtastic. Looks like Yeet are going to win this fight in overtime, but that is still a point capture.
I thought there was no way that Yeet pulled off a win there, and they end up having a huge high noon after the dive comes in. Are they actually going to stick on this dive comp?
It looks like
they might, yeah.
A bit awkward with the McCree, especially with the Moira. But you know what? We're down to try anything here.
There could be worse comps.
The target focus there from Yeet, it looked like Disbanded had kind of given up and just assumed that they were going to win. But Yeet, with their target focus, was able to take down Lofty really early. And that opened up the fight for the rest of them.
Otaku finds Gekkening.
Yeah, swapping over to the Genji and the McCree now. McCree possibly to... Wow, okay, yeah, again, taking out Luna. If you can hit those shots, the McCree will always work.
Yeah, Luna was trying to unpeak there and got flashbangs. Schmidt goes in a little bit too late there too and ends up falling.
Rather awkward fight. Looks like they are going to be switching compositions over now. Luna swapping over to the Racine. Yeah, Schmidt now going to be onto the Sigma.
I would be surprised if they keep these supports too, just because of the ults.
Really powerful ultimates, and it looks like Disbanded here, almost giving away control of the high ground. They still have their Kree and Baptiste up there. The tanks opting to fight on point instead. Gekkening looking for an opportunity, finds onto Pepega, but not able to secure any kills with the immortality field.
Everyone gets really low from the coalescence. Pepega does fall. Window comes out from Gypsy, but at this point I think the fight's already over. Gypsy's on a high ground trying to keep everyone up, but I'm not sure if he's able to. Flux and High Noon comes out from Disbanded, ends up finding Gekkening. Otaku finds 2. Spawns this close. It could go either way.
Disbanded here, as their tanks have returned now, but with no supports, it's gonna be difficult to find any kills. However, Schmidt taking a Godtastic after he takes out JR. Members leading, running out quickly here.
Respawns coming in from both sides. Bongo from Disbanded looks like it might be the difference maker here. Flux from Schmidt finds multiple, but no one dies from it. Nano onto the Orisa and the Blade. I'm not sure that was intentional or not, but it does end up looking like it's going to be enough to finish this fight out for Disbanded.
JRG on the Kree not going to be able to touch here.
Yeah, Luna's on ball, but I don't think Luna's able to touch either.
No, that was really nice actually from Triton there. At the beginning of the fight, we saw the Nano onto Otaku. The Genji about 70% to his blade, so you know, not ready for the Nano blade. Had they reset properly, they still would have gotten that second push. So the same amount of payload progress on this map. But they would have come back with the Nano blade combo, been able to win that much more decisively. However, Triton able to build another Nano. Obviously looking for the Nano blade, but of course we always know when your main tank walks in front of your Genji. That definitely hasn't been me on Lucio.
I heard the blade and the Nano come out, and I'm like, that's a huge Nano blade. And then I hear the Orisa voice line, and I'm like, something went wrong here.
So you know, we tried. They were still able to follow up with the damage. The Orisa's never gonna die at that point. So it ended up working out just fine. Looks like we've got a, I'm gonna say much more stable composition. I was gonna say much more stable. From Yeet Elite here with again the Orisa Sigma. We've got the Torbjorn Ashe now. So again, some really long range DPS. Very good for the first point here.
I'm really surprised they haven't run Baptiste yet on Yeet Elite side.
Baptiste really important when it comes to these double shield compositions. It's very difficult to solo heal in this composition as an Ana. So it'd be interesting to see why Big Sexy always opting to run the Ana instead of the Baptiste. That one guy going to be on the Mercy now. Looks like he will be trying to damage boost JR the entire time. Looking for our pseudo Widowmaker, as well as just an incredible amount of bobs, hopefully, on this first point.
I really like the Torb pick here, especially against a Genji. The turret's very good at suppressing flanks like that.
Yeah, without a Brig, there's no way to really disable anyone flanking. So the Torb turret in the position it is, it's going to deny Godtastic from taking these angles.
They speed into it, and it looks like Big Sexy does fall. Godtastic's able to clean up Gekkoning, and then they just end up finding the picks there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Big Sexy got caught out very early, didn't rotate in time. Double Shield always needing to keep that distance from the Brawl composition, but when he got caught out, it was just too much, and without the sustained heals, the rest of the team is just going to kind of collapse since Mercy can't solo heal against the target focus that Disbanded has here.
That's a really bad stagger from Big Sexy there. Now they're going to be without Ana healing, and without Mercy healing for this fight. They do find Godtastic.
But it looks like no one knows if they want to pull back or not yet. Luna looking like they're trying to hard commit.
Gekkoning gets slept and then ends up falling. The Dynamite onto Otaka might end up being huge here. Respawns are coming in now from Oof Troop. Or from Yeet Elite, sorry.
Okay, that's the parent team.
That's the parent team of Yeet Elite, yeah.
We have Big Sexy now far in the back line. Not going to be able to help at all with the healing once the Brawl comes on point. And we've actually just come back down to one fight remaining.
Last fight.
On second place here.
Pepega has a shatter, ends up fighting 3. They end up sleeping Pepega, but the cleanup is going to come in.
Nice nade from Triton there, able to finish off Schmidt as well as prevent Luna from ever getting in healing. No Baptiste. That's going to be Disbanded, taking this one, I'm going to say very definitively.
Yeah, the first map was a little bit less definitive, but this one was pretty clean.
Yeah, again, we're seeing kind of the same kind of trope from that first map here. Yeet Elite often looking for this double shield composition, but without, you know, the proper supports to sustain it, and getting caught in positioning against this Brawl comp. Some nice Reinhardt play here.
I'm a big fan of fatty shatties.
All main tanks are. So yeah, some issues with the positioning there regarding the composition, but really nice work from Disbanded. Their frontline target calling is very good. Finding those people who are out of position quickly and taking them out has led a lot of these fights to be 4v6s or 5v6s for Yeet Elite. You know, obviously in an organized game of Overwatch, that's never going to end up well for you.
I think a big part of the one thing that Yeet Elite really needs to work on to improve for the rest of the maps is they just need to make sure that they definitively end and begin fights, because a lot of their engages seem like they're happening a little slow, so people are getting picked on the way in, and a lot of times when the fight is already over, a lot of their players are getting staggered.
And we saw that big time on our second point here. It was difficult for them to ever decide if they actually wanted to commit to the fight or not, finding 3 or 4 staggers throughout. So not only giving ult charge to Disbanded, which obviously they're using their ults really effectively as well, rarely ever overlapping them. So good communication there. And obviously with the ultimate advantage, you have to expect that Disbanded's going to come out on top.
Yeah, a lot of the brawl I'm seeing from Disbanded is actually really clean. There were a couple of fights there where Elite looked like they had control, but I felt like in the end, Disbanded just played a lot cleaner.
If they know what they're trying to do, they understand obviously the weakness of the brawl comp against this double shield, playing that really well and taking the openings that they're being given by Elite here. They're punishing mistakes incredibly well, which you really need to be doing when you're compositionally disadvantaged.
I do believe that my mic is fixed now, which is very nice.
As mine was bad too, but I blame Panini because
I don't trust chat. You know, sometimes who was it that said, "Crane, it's everyone." I don't trust you, Crane.
You've got some spam in there. I'm not going to say which team I am affiliated with. I am not affiliated with any of them. So best of luck to whichever team. However, I do approve of whole wheat as bread.
Spam this whole wheat to save Yeet Elite. I like that. I hope that becomes a thing.
I probably should have looked at the map pool. We've got Havana coming up next. What kind of map is that? It's Escort.
Escort.
So Havana, really disadvantageous to the brawl composition here.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if Disbanded pulls out a double shield here off their brawl. I don't know, their brawl has looked really clean, so they might just stick to it just because that's what they're really good at.
Obviously the left pathway, definitely a way that you can path for this first point here, to reduce that LS. Let's not say that. Oh, right, 5 seconds behind.
Yeah.
It was like, well, that seems like an insult unrelated to what I'm saying, but no. But what I said a minute ago, that makes more sense. And I don't feel bad for it. Thank you very much, dude. I'm referring to you specifically, not layman's terms for generic person. Dude Sweet 232, thank you. And we've got more spam now. Fantastic.
I like the spam. Keep going.
Don't stop. Everyone join in. Choose your team. Let's fill the chat up. Boost our numbers.
Yeah, the more spam messages you give for spamming whole wheat. Oh, they're all deleted.
I think someone banned. Well, it was only one person's messages.
It was only Gwasi was spamming, but they are all gone now.
Honestly, so, I'm not too mad.
We need someone to pick up the slack here. The more spams of whole wheat, the more power Yeet Elite gets.
Yep, down 2 in the series. However, it's not over for them yet. They've got a map which really plays to their strengths. I could honestly see the Ash Mercy coming out here. The really long sight line, with your discount Widowmaker, it's possible to just win the entire.
Baptiste is still really good. I think they just need to pull out Baptiste. I think that would help them out a lot.
Obviously the Baptiste looking very powerful.
Also, the Ana and the Mercy can both only do single target healing. So when you're taking a lot of spam damage, like for a while there, they were running Junkrat. They were getting caught out a lot because they weren't able to heal up that spam damage.
Yep, we'll see what compositions everybody decides to run here. We've got 25 seconds, so we see the defense. Obviously, you never know with the offense. They have an extra somewhere between 30 and 45 seconds. Who really knows? To change their composition as much as they like as the defense gets into position. Yeah, so we've got really open sight lines. Obviously, the second point inside the factory going to be much more difficult to run that double shield, and you really want to keep the momentum through second point here. Looks like with Disbanded on the defense, we have the double shield, Baptiste Brig, Widowmaker, and Genji. So I'm going to call it the meta. We've got a Widowmaker over the Ashe, but given the point it is, I am very much okay with the Widowmaker here. I'm expecting to see some big picks from Otaku. Already been very big in this match. Oh, we're going to see the Bap Ana instead. Possibly not thinking that the flanks are going to be too much of an issue. So instead looking for these antis. Obviously, it's going to be harder for their Genji to take more aggressive angles now. Since behind that double shield, Brig is really useful for being able to give your Genji those armor packs.
I'm wondering,
to be able to sustain on those flanks.
Maybe they're running Ana to deny healing?
Maybe, and then we've got the Brig Anna from Yeet Elite here with that double shield Kree Echo, not Kree Echo, Kree Ash, and the Ash gonna fall instantly to Otaku. That's what you want to see from your Widowmaker here.
With double shield, it should be very difficult to get these angles, but I guess Otaku just snuck it in.
That was the first 10 seconds of the map. I don't think anybody knew he was even there.
Your Big Sexy's gonna get real low. Loon ends up falling there. They do take out Godtastic, and with the spawns coming out from Yeet Elite, I think that's actually gonna favor Yeet Elite there. Sniper battle versus Otaku and Gekkoning.
I'm really liking seeing the Brigida here from one guy. It's been really powerful in denying Godtastic here. Now we're almost at the sights already for Otaku. You know how much he's hitting onto these tanks. How's he finding picks?
Gekkoning finds Otaku.
However, Godtastic taking out one guy. Gypsy falling as well.
Oh, hello, Bluda. Sorry.
Wow, you really can't say things. And I thought my pronunciation was bad. However, the
Bloda.
tanks.
Luna and Sexy do fall down at the end of that fight there. They did get a lot of cart progress.
Yeah, and we've got a huge ultimate advantage coming out for Disbanded here. Both DPS and ultimates, we're about to hit both supports, as well as getting closer to those tanks. Wow.
I'm gonna spectate this Nanoblade here.
I'm looking forward to see what they can do with the Nanoblade. We've got support ults about to head in from Yeet Elite. Not much else on the way, only 50%. Still not seeing anything as Yeet Elite comes out from the left here.
They invest the window here, and they have a big pull through it. Find Gypsy, which is a really big pick. Nano onto Schmidt might give him enough beef to push through here. Nanoblade's coming out. Finds Schmidt, finds Sexy, finds JR.
You know, I'm gonna say that the Nanoblade there, while very good,
Might have been an
seems like
overinvestment, yeah.
they had already won the fight, and now that's 4 ultimates they've used for this one fight. Sights now being over, and Luna actually resetting their ultimate charge on the Bongo. Orisa ultimate here.
Oh, I didn't see that. Was Luna gonna swap and spawn and then decided to stay on Orisa?
And so back to 0%, while Pepega has their supercharger. Really nice halt into the Gravitic Flux here.
Schmidt and one guy end up falling. Gekkoning gets killed by a deflected flashbang. JR ends up finding Godtastic, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be that impactful with the speed that Genji will return at. Luna swaps onto Winston, and Schmidt goes onto a Diva.
We
That's
are
very...
seeing the dive start to come out. At least the dive tanks come out from Yeet Elite here. As Big Sexy tries to 1v1 the Ana, or sorry, not the Widowmaker, which, you know, not something you would generally expect to win in this type of
Gypsy
composition.
threw down a lamp just to allow Otaku to peek there, which is very interesting.
You know, want to enforce that you're going to win the Widow 1v1. However, having to follow low ground, Schmidt able to take him out with the help of the dive.
Damage boosted Genji takes out that one guy, but Otaku does end up falling. Schmidt gets purple here, and JR uses a High Noon. High Noon doesn't look like it's gonna fall anything. Cart just kind of moved in front of him.
This dive looking much cleaner from Yeet Elite than anything before. They're playing a little scrappy consistently, but the Ana is finding considerably much more value here, as well as these really forward positions from their tanks. Now composition leads them to success.
Disbanded is swapping onto a Brawl. Ryan Zarya. Schmidt really popped off there after he got nanoed.
Yeah, I mean, Nano Diva is powerful with those micro missiles, able to take out someone very easily. And on second point, you do see the Brawl being a little more effective, especially against a dive comp like this. Brawl should win in most neutral fights. However, we are going to see the Diva Bomb coming in soon. However, the Nano Blade from Disbanded.
Nanoblade coming out. Finds Big Sexy. Gets out that one guy. It's gonna clean up Schmidt too. JR might end up falling too. He does find JR. That was a 4K, I believe, from Godtastic.
Was in fact Godtastic being able to find really nice dash resets. The most important thing from a Genji Blade. Being able to finish one person off and then instantly knowing which target they want to dash to next to be able to continue that combo. However, no more ultimates anywhere in sight for Disbanded. As Elite, about to hit the primal range, already has the Pulse Bomb and Diva Bomb.
Let's see how he's gonna use the Diva Bomb here. It's going to be very hard to get value with the Zarya bubbles and with the Reinhardt shield.
Vega ending up
He fights
far in
Triton
the
with
back.
it.
Everyone's split from the team, and that's on both teams here. Tanks trying to engage. However, Luna with the primal.
Shatter just to clean it up. I feel like
I feel okay about the investments from Yeet Elite there. Investing only the Diva Bomb to get out. Well, obviously Triton now swapping over to the Moira instead of the Ana, but also the Shatter. Using no ultimates to get some out of Disbanded here. Gonna be helpful since they've effectively got one fight left, and Schmidt and Lazarian have to try and hit some of those stuns.
The Shatter I don't feel like was needed, but I think that's one of those fights where it just goes on a little bit too long and you just need to end it right here, right now, so you just use the Shatter to clean up.
Moira for Triton finding the scout on the
Nano
flank
Primal.
here. That's a lot of damage coming in from Luna on the main tank. However, only able to find Vega and Lofty finding two.
Lofty finds 2 and the High Noon gets Skekkening. Lofty also has the grab here. I'm not sure if it's needed. I don't know if they're gonna be able to have anyone touch. Maybe Gekkening's able to touch.
Gekkening already going to be low on the blinks coming from spawn.
He does end up touching, but he dies immediately. Rallying from that one guy, but I'm not sure that's gonna be enough.
All the stuns. Schmidt almost able to touch point, but not quite. Elite going to be stopped. About a third to half the way through second point on Havana here.
I feel like the dive went better when they had ultimates, but I feel like a big reason that they won the fight on when the fight on Blizzard World when they ran dive, and the fight here when they ran dive is because they had ults to back it up.
The ult advantage definitely helping here. They're also finding it easier in those really linear segments of maps.
Yeah.
To be able to find that coordinated push. Here at the beginning of the second point, obviously so many high grounds, and it's difficult for them to find where they want to engage as a team. Getting a bit split, and then Otaku and Gotastic taking really good advantage of those supports when they're not around. Going to be running Zenyatta Ana, which I find rather interesting here, as you know we've seen Gotastic and Otaku be the big problem this entire match. So becoming even more squishy for your backline. I can see them falling very early here.
They're very diveable, and also if they peek out, that's a very fast headshot from Otaku. I am not sure. Oh, I was about to say, I really hope they run out on Hog and Sigma. They might run the Hog Orisa here.
We're talking not a ton of shield break. Primarily the Zenyatta going to be doing the shield break from. Oh, okay. Triton does decide he wants to play the Ana instead of the Brigitte. Not an incredible amount of shield break, so this really could work. And those halt hooks being super powerful. Gypsy already with the lamp.
Halt comes out early, but it was a little bit too far away from Lofty to follow up on. Hook misses right there, but they do end up forcing Yeet Elite to back up with all the damage they're providing. Purple finds 2 on the side of Disbanded. One guy ends up getting doinked by Otaku.
And it looks like Yeet never actually going to commit to any kind of brawl, especially Luna. Okay, being cleansed now by Schmidt on the Zarya, who's going to fall immediately.
Godtastic looked like he's going to be able to go in for the cleanup.
There was never
Jared's
really
going
a
to get
fight.
staggered really bad here. Yeah, and I think that's all for first point. I think they're going to have to do a full regroup.
Yeah, that one guy falling now to Otaku. There was never really a fight there to be had. Yeet Elite kind of stood at the choke and then backed away, when really they're
They
trying
should
to
be
press
the
their
aggressors.
advantage when they can be on top.
Luna is going to come up on the Shatter, but it doesn't look like they have anything else. Gekkening does lose the Sniper 1v1 against Otaku.
I mean, it's got to be expected when you're playing Widow against the Ashe. Ashe is an instant headshot.
Lofty's frozen here, and he does end up falling. Luna ends up dying too before Shatter.
Getting split there, the rest of the team not able to help Luna as they were dedicating all their resources to Lofty. And
Otaku's just behind them.
Really is just behind them on top of the pillars here.
I think he just...
However,
Otaku
Bacon
got-
Disbanded never actually pushed the point during that entire fight. Everyone
you're
pushed
right.
so far up that no one decided to push the cart.
Looks like
So
they're
we
gonna have
still-
another touch here. Coming in on a lot of ults too. This might actually be winnable for Yeet Elite with all the ults they have.
Luna very far ahead, does get the nano.
Does get the
from Big
nano.
Sexy. Shatter into the double shield. However, the Bob now coming out, gonna be able to secure them real point presence here.
The Gypsy falls, and that's the majority of their healing there. Gekkening does find the Otaku. Big Sexy falls, so they only have Zen healing, but that might be all they need in this 3v5.
With the last couple, it looks like their damage should be enough. And I was scared with Luna being so far forward from the rest of their team there. But the nano from Big Sexy really coming in clutch, being able to, you know, enable their Reinhardt. They're able to take that presence and then win that brawl. At this point, it's forced to be on point every single time. And I think this is when the composition from Yeet Elite can really excel. So as long as they stay stacked, I think they do have a chance to at least win a few more fights. Unfortunately, though,
This Bongo Nano Blade might be really huge. Godtastic is frozen and he gets cancelled immediately. I really thought he was going to do something there and he just got frozen. Pepega finds 2 though.
that Bongo being so powerful.
Grab coming
Schmidt,
in from Schmidt. Schmidt ends up falling though. That's probably going to be it for this map. Yeah.
Even if he had on 3, there was no one else to touch. That is going to be Disbanded, taking the final map here. The Bongo being so powerful, really well placed from Pepega there. And we're going to see the final play, the Lofty here. Brilliant pull Gravitic Flux. Sends everyone down to half and finishes off the rest of Schmidt. That's the kind of synergy you want to see from your tanks.
So, do you have an opinion for Golden Hammer?
I have an idea of who I feel like I want to give it to. Do you want to somehow whisper it to me and we'll see if we agree?
You go first and I'll tell you if we agree.
Okay, I'm thinking to give it to Otaku here.
I was also going to say Otaku. I feel like Godtastic played really well in Nepal, but I think Otaku, especially on Widowmaker at the very end there, got a lot of picks. It ended up being very impactful.
Yes, the Widowmaker on Havana being really powerful, taking aggressive angles, but having the mechanics to back it up. But not only that, but on the first 2 maps, the Tracer play. It was able to punish the lack of peel that Yeet Elite was missing in their backline. You know, constant sticks with the pulse bomb and just berating their supports, so they weren't able to support that front line. I feel like Disbanded overall had a better team synergy, where their tanks were making good space for their DPS and, you know, setting up those halts for the Genji dashes to be able to build their ultimates faster. And then taking away that resource, especially because the Ana was forced so often in Yeet Elite's double shield. Without the Ana, who, you know, needs someone to respond to the Tracer pressure. Their tanks had no more healing because they're not running, you know, the bat big composition.
I agree. I think that a lot of it just had to do with Yeet Elite's a newer team, so I felt like a lot of their decisions were either slow or made wrong.
I think we're seeing a good foundation from Yeet Elite here. Definitely decent understanding of the fundamentals. Still, obviously, some things that need to be cleaned up, but we still have much more of the season ahead of us, and I think they can go far in this tournament here. Disbanded, though, looking really clean and already having that synergy down.
Disbanded looked very strong today. I agree. I do hope that Yeet Elite improves from here. They look like they had a lot of learning moments in this map, but they also had a couple of moments where they looked really good.
And definitely lots of potential from Yeet Elite. And from Disbanded, I really want to see them look stronger on other compositions.
Yeah, I would like to see them
Brawl
run more.
obviously looking strongest.
Their double shield on Havana looked pretty good for the little bit they ran it, but I would like to see them run that a little bit more in certain situations.
And seeing nothing from the dive, based on the synergy between the Arisa Halt and the DPS engagement, I could see their dive being very effective as well. Because, you know, dive obviously led by the Winston and Tracer combo. So I expect a very promising dive from Disbanded. However, nothing to see from them yet in Golden Hammer Gaming as far as dive is concerned. Again, congratulations to Otaku for the Golden Hammer.
Congratulations to Disbanded for the 3-0 win. I believe this is their second week in a row with a 3-0.
It's a very dominant showing from them so far. Great job to both teams. Everyone played well today, and Disbanded coming out on top.
Anything you'd like to add, or?
I think that's everything. Thank you very much for everyone for spending your evening with us. Some brilliant Overwatch to be seen from both sides here. Lots of compositions from both sides, and really seeing what these players have to offer.
Yeah, have a nice day, everyone. Wash your fucking hands.